this evening. It is not as warm as it was in week one Sunday when Richland was here, but it is still a warm evening. We're going to be above 80 at kickoff by a couple of degrees. How different is it for the two teams knowing that it's 3 weeks into the season as opposed to the first week in the season as far as, fitness, and we saw a lot of cramping in the second half of that first week game?
Well, by this time of the season, even though it's 80 degrees or going to be close to 80 degrees, most teams have learned their lesson that they've, gone out there and hydrated well during the week and hydrated better during the week, especially the last couple days before the game. And that is just the thing. If you don't hydrate well ahead of the game, you're not going to be able to catch up.
The officiating crew here tonight out of the Mid-Columbia Officials Association. Chris Wiltz will lead the crew with Aaron Biglin, Nicholas Phipps, Joby Shields, and Pat Barrett. So the coin toss getting set here at midfield. Do you want the ball tonight first, or do you want to go and defer?
Well, tonight I would like to defer.
The remainder of the Bulldogs kneel down around Keegan Harshberger. Delivering a prayer is Rob Bergato, the leader of FCA in this area, looks on as well, along with the cheerleaders. They've broken that. Nice applause from the stands. Cheerleaders will take their spot back on the track in front of the student section and the band. And then the dance team, state champions many times over. We saw them get their rings at halftime of week one during that opener against Richland. They are also down there and appear to be prepared for a halftime performance. In fact, I suppose I have that right in front of me here right now. Yep, we will see the marching band do theirs. And Stardust is also going to perform at halftime here tonight.
Hermiston will start with the ball. Chiawana won the toss and deferred for the second half.
So Scott Bond's team wants to put his dynamic defense on the field to start things off, and it means we see Braden Medelas and the offense here as kickoff is pending this evening. Bulldog football on AM 1360 KOHU is brought to you in part by Smitty's Ace Hardware. If you have a room that needs a new coat of paint, check out acehardware.com. Try out the Paint Studio Visualizer. You can select any color in any room setup so you can visualize the exact paint color you want before you buy. And Umatilla Electric Cooperative. Being a member with Umatilla Electric means getting consistent updates and important information about outages near you. Stay up to date by visiting umatillaelectric.com. Umatilla Electric, charging forward. Wait.
Yeah, Chiawana deferred to take the ball the second half. I might have made the mistake and said that Hermiston's going to get the ball. Chiawana did win the toss and deferred for a second half.
No, they're taking the ball. They have back to receive the kick. Angel Colon is deepest to take this kick. And it's a spinner over to the left side. Sawyer Somerville has it across the 25-30. He gets a block. He's at the 40 far sideline. 45 into Hermiston territory. 40 behind a blocker. Caught from behind and pulled down all the way to the 33-yard line. A dynamic return by the junior Somerville. However, hold it all back and flying his palms into the sky in frustration. One of the Riverhawks, like, oh, guys.
Called a holding on that play, Eric.
Way back early in the return, so.
They're back on the 28-yard line.
They reset the flag on the 30, so they'll march it back to the 20. That is way better than first down and 10 at Hermiston's 33-yard line for this Bulldog defense. Their starting lineup brought to you by Rogers Toyota. Cash Edwards, Fitu Sapetti on the lines, Wyatt Larson and Angel Ordaz the tackles. Sapetti and Edwards the D ends. Hayden Larson, Cole McCamey, and the linebacker. First down and 10. Gage Williams is in the shotgun. Anthony Godino moves to his right shoulder. 3 receiver options right. Looking to throw. Now Williams shuffles out to his right. Time to throw. Deep down the field. Wide open and too long for Sean Rahman. The senior got behind the secondary. Incomplete. He was lost there by James Young as Hermiston was in a zone defense. Young, one cornerback. Tanner Wicks, the other quarterback. Nate Henderson and Tabor Mills, the safeties, with Colby Kelly in that Superman position. The starting lineup for Hermiston, brought to you by Rogers Toyota. Second out and 10 for Hermiston. For Chiawana. Left hash mark, 20-yard line. Brady Knowlton, 3 years a starter. The left tackle is 6 feet, 2 inches tall, 300 pounds, and a senior. William Taylor, a senior at left guard. Fernando Perez, the sophomore at center. Isaiah Saldana, a senior at right guard. He's also 300. And Isaiah Delgado, a junior at 280 at right tackle. Big offensive line protecting Gage Williams, who's in the shotgun for second down and 10. Takes the snap, lobs it out to the right flat, into the hands of Rahman. Rahman tripped up. Hayden Larson out there to make the tackle at the 26-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, but what a week Larson had at linebacker last week against Walla Walla, Sonny.
Oh, man, he absolutely did have a great game last week. He, both sides of the ball, offense and defense.
Angel Colon is to the right side as a receiver. 2 options left in the tight end that way as well. Handoff and Godino's first run of the game on second down and 4. Tripped up across the 30 to the 31, 5 yards, and that will move the chains for the Chiawana Riverhawks almost a minute into the contest. Morgan Dodson is the tight end. He is also a excellent kicker, arguably the best in this conference in his senior year. He is at tight end. Sawyer Somerville, Tayton Sisney, and Sean Rahman, the receivers. Sisney is wide to the right, Rahman inside of him, and then Dodson off of the formation, but to that way as well. Screenplay set up for Somerville, dropped, and he tripped as well. And Hermiston survives first down again.
Yeah, that was a good job of getting a little bit of pressure. Everybody else stayed where they should have once they read screen, and we did get pressure on him. He had to throw it up and over the top of the hard rushing tackle there. I believe that was Shahanic that came in hard.
Second down and 10. Max did switch on that last play. Handoff, Godino coming down to the outside right side. Breaks a tackle, gets to the second level and up to the 34-yard line before being pulled down by Tabor Mills. It was read well by Larson. He just wasn't able to pull Godino down in the one-on-one, and Godino turns it into a 3-yard gain.
Nice job, though. There, we are flying to the football, Eric, and that's what we need to do. And right now we're doing the right things.
Minute 45 into the start of this game. Third down and 7. Right hash mark 34. Lots of time in the pocket. Throw open downfield. Jairo Martinez has the catch. The leading receiver across midfield. Takes it down to the Hermiston 46-yard line. Ends up with a 24 on the pitch and catch. And another first down for Chiawana. And there was no pressure on Gage Williams on that play. Let Martinez find a hole in the zone. His 4th reception of the season for now 104 yards. First down, 10 to go at the Hermiston 46-yard line. Williams hands off, and Sisney gets his first touch. Cuts back to the left in the middle of the field, across the 40, down inside the 35, tripped up to the 33-yard line. Flag out back where the handoff went to Cooper Sisney from Gage Williams. Wait for the indication here from Chris Wiltz. And 10-yard variety against Chiawana, moves it back on the other side of the 50.
Yeah, they got a very good mark as far as where the penalty, actually, the flag was thrown. They actually went right to the line of scrimmage. It was actually back behind the line. But good job, again, by Hermiston getting that front line, getting some good pressure up front.
First down and 10 from the 44. Williams out to the right flat. First touch for Tatum Sisney. Breaks a tackle. Tripped up from behind. Mills finishes it off after Nate Henderson jumped out and grabbed him by the shoelaces. But Tatum Sisney, the senior's first touch, gets 10 yards, and they're back to the original line of scrimmage, second down and 10.
Yeah, that was a tough break that time. We missed a one-on-one tackle out in the flat and in the open there, and that would have been for a pretty good loss.
From the 46 in Hermiston territory. Low pass, bounced, and incomplete down at the feet of Sawyer Somerville. So Williams is a little bit inconsistent throwing the ball. This was not going to be, in an ideal situation, his job, most likely. Ender Douglas was the one we talked about in the pregame who got a shoulder injury last year during basketball. He was the likely replacement to Julian Martinez, who graduated and is playing at George Fox. Third down and 10 and a pause from the near sideline. And off the field, Angel Colon, the senior, goes for the Chiawana Riverhawks. Didn't have his knee pads down over his knees. So Sean Rahman comes back in wide to the right side. Opportunity as well to get Andre Mayer in there. He's slot left. Third down, 10 to go. Hermiston's 46. Williams to throw. Stands in the pocket. Lots of time. Now he steps up. Gets away from Sapeni. Breaks another. Pulled down from behind. First down yardage as he scrambles up to the 35-yard line. Williams gains 11 on the play.
Yeah, that time there we over-pursued, Eric, and that was the one thing that I was talking to Coach Flaitete about, is the over-pursuit on there, and that time we got too much pursuit, which is fine, but you got to be able to cover the gap.
First down 10 at the 35, 8:15 on the clock, and it is spinning here in quarter number one. The opening drive of the night, Chiawana. A handoff. This is Cooper Sisney running out to the outside. He's got the edge. The sophomore puts his shoulder down, runs over the top of a tackler, gains 11. Outside the numbers near the Chiawana sideline. Sisney had just 6 rushes for 100 yards and a touchdown through the first 2 games of the season. We've seen them get him the ball a couple of times out of the backfield. Godino back in to the left shoulder of Williams. The senior quarterback has first down and 10 at Hermiston's 24. Somerville moves into the backfield. Now standing directly behind it, takes a handoff straight down the middle. Somerville edges to his left and has a run of 9 up to the Hermiston 15-yard line. Riverhawks doing some good work there in the middle behind the center Perez and guards Saldana and Taylor to make some space. Second and 1. Godino, he's got 2 rushing touchdowns this season, but Williams to throw. Near sideline throw off to his right, has Dodson. Dodson has the end zone. 15-yard touchdown for Chiawana. And Morgan Dodson, one of the biggest guys on the offense outside of linemen, well, even counting linemen, gets to rumble down for a score.
Yeah, that one there, we covered everybody except for the one on the wheel out there, Eric, and that was kind of a pretty easy pass play once he got there and was able to get his balance underneath him. Quick and strong run.
Well, Dodson catches the touchdown. Now he moves to the middle of the field, gives the tee to Tatum Sisney, and we'll try to add the extra point. He's 10 for 10 this season. And he's 11 for 11 this season. 7-0 Chiawana. The drive takes 4 minutes and 58 seconds and has a Dodson receiving touchdown to put Chiawana on the board first. David Flaitete in that Chalk Talk conversation, and I've been talking about these first 2 weeks, there have been a lot of things the defense has done well. But when you talk to the head coach, who's a defensive coordinator for over a decade and a half here, who played Division I football at Oregon as a defensive lineman, it's those little things, right? It's the open field tackles that were missed a couple of times here tonight. It's the coverage bust. It's not good enough when he has such high expectations like he does.
Yeah, exactly, and that's that was the things that Coach Faitete said we had to clean up, that we have to do better, and he's right. If you make that mistake, you don't quite do it what you're supposed to do, good teams are going to make you pay.
Nate Henderson is to the left, and Paul Starr to the right. Both stand at the 5 as Dodson gets ready to kick towards Hermiston High School's main building beyond the east end zone. High spinning kick angled towards Starr, who catches on the sideline, and he steps out of bounds at the 2 or the 3.
That's the first mistake.
There is a lull tonight. It seems like a little bit of a quieter sideline. It's definitely a quieter crowd below us. As we see Hermiston their first drive of the game. And they got 98 yards between them and the end zone. 7 minutes on the clock. And Braden Medeles and Hayden Larson will each stand about middle of their own end zone here. Towards the right hash mark, first down and 10. Couple extra tight ends in. 2 receiver options left. Medeles slaps his hands twice. Hands to Larson. Larson breaks through into the second level at the 10. Tripped up at the 15-yard line. Big run for Larson to start things off. And in the second level, tripped by Jairo Martinez. $13-yard gain. Receivers stacked up on top of each other, left and right. Motion man left to right is Ryan Allen, and a draw play. Larson hit in the backfield, dropped 2 yards back.
Yeah, they're going to give him a benefit of the doubt and only drop him for 1 yard that time there. That was just a blown up play there.
Larson, the senior running back, came in 132 on the ground through the first 2 games on 24 carries, 2 touchdowns. Second down and 10. Pump by Medeles, throw over the middle, incomplete. Off of the left hand of Ryan Allen, who gets a start in the receiving corps along with Nate Henderson and James Young. Left tackle, Max Shilhonik. Left guard, Keegan Harshberger. Seth Reeve at center. Guillermo Salazar at right guard, and Angel Ordaz at right tackle. The starting lineup is brought to you by Rogers Toyota. Third down 11. Medeles, the sophomore quarterback, bends at the waist, slaps his hands twice. Now a flag comes out from the near sideline, and the movement is against Hermiston. Penalties were better last week, 9 versus 14 in week 1, but still a problem that Hermiston will look to fix. Chiawana can pin their ears back here on third down and 16. Back at the 9. Tight end left, 2 receiver options left. Medeles with the back to his right shoulder, takes a snap, straight drop, pressure coming. Hit as he throws, high pass, tipped and intercepted. Falls right into the hands of Cole Gallagher, the senior, on a tip ball, and Gallagher's got it to 15, and that's where the Riverhawks take over at the midpoint of the first quarter, up by a touchdown.
Yeah, that time there, and Braden paid the price on that one also. Could have even been a little bit of a late hit, but he would hit pretty well just as he released and started to watch the ball.
So the Bulldog defense now has to work against Chiawana holding the ball first down and 10 from the 15. This is the tight package for Chiawana. Just Rahman wide to the right side. Everybody else is tight on the formation. A couple of tight ends will shift from left to right. And option play. No, counter back to the left. Big hole for Godino. Godino fights his way through two arms and then gets all the way down to the 2-yard line. 13-yard gain. Anthony Godino just held out of the end zone by a pile of black shirts.
Yeah, that was a good job. I mean, a good job by the Hermiston backside safety of being able to stay home and come up and aid in that play. Otherwise, it was 6.
They had a lot of packages last year where Williams played at quarterback, but it was designed run stuff. The power is to the right, handoff, Godino going right, runs through 2 tacklers into the end zone for the 2-yard touchdown, and Chiawana's got a 2-score lead.
Good job. I mean, that's the thing that hurts, Eric. You turn the ball over, and it's a short field, and most teams, you see an awful lot of teams, high school, college, and pros, that want to go for it all right away, but these guys run that counter off the backside, and it runs just like a go-for-broke play.
Godino's 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. And Dodson with the extra point, easily straight down the middle. 5:26 left in quarter number 1, 14-0, Chiawana's lead. You are listening to Bulldog Football here on AM 1360 KOHU. We look ahead, brought to you by LIUNA, Labor's International Union of North America, and our first of 3 trips to Lansing Stadium next Friday night, as Hermiston will take on the Kamiakin team that Chiawana beat last week 15-3. A Kamiakin team that's got an extra day. They beat Sageview last night 56-7. Dodson's kick again towards Starr over his head and through the back of the end zone. Scott Bond talked to me about, one of the luxuries of having Morgan Dodson and his right leg is their defense knows that a lot of the time they're going to start with 80 yards between them and the end zone because he's kicking so many touchbacks. It's a huge luxury.
Oh, absolutely. When you're giving a team a long field to try and negotiate, especially against this type of a defense, it improves your opportunity of getting the ball back fairly quickly.
This type of a defense, who plays what? Sean Rahman is definitely a cornerback, so is Jairo Martinez. Cooper Sisney is listed as the rover. Gage Williams is a linebacker, so is Tayton Sisney, so is Cole Holtgren. Sawyer Somerville and Cole Gallagher listed as safeties. Gallagher had the interception on Hermiston's opening drive. Luke Petty at tackle, Brady Knowlton at nose tackle, and Morgan Dodson at defensive end. But at any one time, how many real down linemen are? Knowlton, the only one with his hand in the dirt right now. 4 guys stacked off to the right of Braden Medelas, who's got a back to his right shoulder. Medelas going to change the play and move Larson to his left side on 1st down and 10. Now, Chiawana counters. They shift some guys around as well. Tayton Sisney standing in the middle of the field. Throw it near side. James Young's got it. Sisney tripped it. He still tripped up James Young for a loss of 2. He led the team in his freshman campaign with 71 tackles a year ago. Scott Bond has said of Cooper Sisney, Cooper has the chance to be one of the best players Chiawana has ever had.
Wow, that's saying an awful lot.
2nd down and 11, handoff to Larson, left side run. Larson churning his feet, gets up to the 20-yard line. Ends up gaining a yard on the play. Well, it is, right? Now, here's the give and take of that. Chiawana has existed since 2009, so it's not a long history right now in Chiawana football, but it's a very decorated history. Semifinalists a year ago, and Sisney was part of that. And this is a team that's had bundles of guys go on and play at the next level. 3rd down and 10. Medelas tries a hard count, takes it on the second slap, throws it over the middle, has a man, Ryan Allen open in the second level and up to the 36-yard line.
Thirteen-yard pickup.
Bulldogs will move with tempo with 4:09 left in the first quarter, trailing 14-0. Now a pause, and now another Riverhawk, Cole Holtgren, sent off the field for not having his knee pads down over his knees. A point of emphasis this year. Make sure the safety equipment is actually, doing safety stuff. 1st down 10 from the 36, left hash mark set. 2 receivers to the right for Medelas after the big completion. Medelas, play action, throws near side. The screen play dropped by James. Throw was behind him, and he did well to get hands on it and knock it down.
Yeah, that time there. And Eric, right now, as far as what they're doing, Chiawana's reading this pass play is about as well as you can read it, and they're getting somebody in the middle of it quickly. That's one thing. They cannot be allowed to slip the block out there to get inside where that screen's coming.
2nd down, 10 to go at the 36-yard line. Medelas will hand to Larson. Nothing. Loss of 3. And right now, Hermiston's offensive line getting pushed around in the middle.
Yes, they are. They're getting stood up, and that's the bad thing. I think Chiawana is confusing them with what they're doing up front. Because they are looping out there. They're looping the tackle inside and then bringing the linebacker to where the tackle was on the play.
3rd down 13 at the 33-yard line. Medella's long count. He's got 5 on the play clock here. He's got to move. Takes a snap. Straight drop, set up a screen, and nothing doing. Read out well by Tayton Sisney. That is the elder of the 2 Sisney brothers. He was number 2 on the team a year ago with 70 tackles. This year, he's number 2 in the conference. Came into the game with 13 tackles, 12 of them solo tackles. There's another solo tackle onto his chart. And the loss of 4 more yards makes it 4th down and 16. Flag out before Max Chiawana can put boot to ball.
That'll be a motion on Hermiston on the left side gunner out here, or wing.
2:39 left in quarter number 1, 14-0 Chiawana.
Need a good punt here, Eric. Absolutely. Maybe change this field around.
Shalonik is the kicker. Gets it away towards Sisney. Sisney backpedaling. Takes it at the 35. He'll cut back to his right. Oh, nice move to get one man away. Flag comes out anyway at the 50, 45, 40, far sideline. Sisney shuffles away from another at the 30, 25, 20. Pulled down up to the 17-yard line. It's all coming back. There are 2 flags out on this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they called. They called a block in the back on the 30 against Chiawana. It was not. He did not block. He didn't touch him. And I think he was shielded by that. I don't know what the other penalty was. hopefully it's an offsetting penalty, well, I mean, that it's not an offsetting penalty that will continue to move Chiawana even deeper back.
This is a long conversation. We're 2:27 left in quarter number 1 as they try to sort this one out. Or these two out, I should say. Holding. And a clip. So the clip is the one they called back near where Sisney started his long return. And so that's the one that will get marched off. The illegal block in the back. Now, to say this, you had asked for a good punt, and it was a big boot by Shilhonic anyway.
Oh, yeah.
45-yarder, and then the penalty moves it back to the 25. So Chiawana does have to work on a long field here. Up 14-0, 2:27 left first quarter. Gage Williams to throw. Near sideline, complete to Cologne. Cologne trying to move back to the middle of the field and moves himself right into trouble. James Young makes the open field tackle. It is still Cologne for 5 yards. Right hash mark at the 30-yard line. Back to the left shoulder of Williams. Hermiston Edwards jumps. He's going to try to plead that he jumped because of movement. David Faitete doing the same thing.
No, they didn't get it.
So, Edwards guilty on the 5-yard penalty. And it's enough to move the chains. Minute 52 left in the opening quarter of a 14-0 game. And hand up the middle. Henderson sticks his nose in there and steps up to make a tackle.
Larson got there first, and then Henderson absolutely put it away.
3-yard gain up to the 38-yard line from the right hash mark. Cooper Sisney into the backfield on this second down and long play. Couple of targets left, and a man alone to the right. Motion the tight end. Gallagher across the formation, right to left. Hand off to Sisney. Sisney up the middle. And a pull down on the edge. Larson again in on another stop for Hermiston. Up to the 41, 3rd down and 4. Under a minute remaining in quarter 1. Can Hermiston get off the field here, trailing 14-0? Sisney stays in, left shoulder of Williams. The senior quarterback in his first year at that position, straight drop. Now steps up in the pocket. He'll run straight down the middle, has the first down yardage. Space ball slides at the 50. Picks up 9 and moves the chains, an extra set of downs. It's one of the things that makes him dangerous. I mean, his size, for one. I mean, 6'4", 232. In the high school game, he's got kind of like a Ben Roethlisberger type of look to him.
Yeah, he reminds me an awful lot of that quarterback a few years ago from Lewiston. When we went up there to Lewiston and played against them, he was a beast, and he's every bit. I mean, he's quicker here. Gage is quicker.
I mean, if memory serves, he's smaller. Well, another Chiawana Riverhawk. Cole Gallagher removed for not having his knee pads over the top of his knees. Is that the 4th one for Chiawana here tonight? First down and 10. Riverhawks in the all-white uniforms attacking left to right. Ball at the 50. Williams waiting for the whistle to play, takes the snap, looks to throw, left side, has it to Somerville. Somerville pushed down up to the 43-yard line and flying across. Kelly in there on the stop. That's the final play of quarter number 1. Chiawana 14, Hermiston 0. Riverhawks a second down and 3. When we come back to Bulldog Stadium here on AM 1360 KOHU.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Second down, 3 for Chiawana. Now attacking right to left. Gage Williams with the back to his left shoulder. Hands to Godino, running out to the right side. Godino weaving, has first down yardage across the 40, pulled down from behind at the 38-yard line by Fitu Sepeni.
Yeah, nice job of Hermiston that time, kind of stringing them out a little bit, and Sepeni having to come in and make the play, but a good, sure tackle.
Quick handoff, right side run, and Godino gets a few more outside the numbers at the 34-yard line. Chiawana 1 on the ground, 1 through the air in the first quarter. They got to start on a short field because of an interception on Hermiston's first drive of the game. Second down, 6. Williams to throw. Deep ball, right side, looking end zone. Incomplete. Back behind Rahman.
Got a flag down.
The marker coming from the other side of the field, way away from that deep ball down the right sideline, thrown by Williams.
I think you have a defensive holding, Eric. Or a sideline warning. Oh. Wow.
Formation penalty against Chiawana. And 5 yards back moves them to the 39. Second and 11. Left side run, Sisney, and pulled down right and left hash mark at the 33-yard line. Runs for 6. And third down and 6.
Good job again by Hermiston that time of go ahead and containing. They just got to keep doing that. They just can't give up the big chunk play. Get it down less than that and keep getting some push on that line.
Third down, 6, lob ball, right side. Dodson has it out on the wing. The big tight end is stood up at the 30-yard line. Dodson gains 3. Well, good spot. Give him to the 29. They gain 4. This is an interesting situation here. This is in Dodson's range, almost right on the nose. And Scott Bond has said, look, we got to give Dodson some opportunities to kick field goals. This would be one of them. Because you're up by 14 with 10:07 left in quarter number 2. And David Faitete wants to call a timeout anyhow. But, I mean, Scott Bond said to me, he said it to Jeff Morrow in the preview in the Tri-City Herald before the season started. He said it to me earlier this week. We have to be intentional about finding Dodson some chances just to kick field goals because he's got such a big leg. This would be 46 yards from the right hash mark. It's at his range that they like for him. But it's hard when you're Chiawana. You have no illusions that you can't get 4th and 1.
Oh yeah, and you're pounding the ball, 4, 5, 6 yards at a pop up the middle like they are right now, and that set there, it would have almost looked like they were in a dead set passing situation unless they were going to go with a direct quarterback draw, because there was nobody in the backfield that time except for the quarterback. Changed it up.
But it's a full house backfield, so Sisney is to the left shoulder of Williams, shotgun set, Somerville to the right shoulder, and then Godino straight behind. Give to Godino straight down the middle. He gets the first down yardage and piles his way to the 25-yard line. Gain of 4, move the chains. First down and 10. Right hash mark 25. Williams re-signaling a change over to the left side. He's got 3 receivers that way, looking that way. Blitz comes off the edge, throws into Somerville's hands. Somerville has it on the screen. And 2 yards gained. A bunch of Bulldogs got to him and kept him up. Edwards, by a whisker, misses getting home.
Yeah, and that's the pressure, because that made him have to loft the ball a little higher just to get it into to the screen pass, and really close to getting the sack.
Second down, 8 to go. Long play clock here. 8:49 left in the first half. Hand off to Sisney, trying to run out to the edge, the outside. Sisney breaks a tackle outside the numbers, pulled down from behind up to the 11-yard line. Chased down on the play by Edwards. And Sisney just too much speed. It looked like he was actually going to be caught from behind by Larson.
Yeah, he just keeps the feet moving, and he's got those little scat back type moves.
Left side run this time. Flag out as Sisney tries to get to the edge. Grabbed by the back of his shirt tail, and Hayden Larson just turned that medium into a large.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's still a medium, but it's a medium tall.
Yeah, that was
So it was his undershirt. And his undershirt went from, his waist to now past his hips with Larson dragging behind him.
So that flag came out pretty quick also.
Well, there's 2 on this as well.
Is it holding again?
The second flag was a sideline warning to Hermiston.
Okay.
But a holding penalty does move Chiawana back to the 21. 8:13 left in the first half. 14-0. Chiawana trying to add on to that lead. Williams, the back, straight drop, stands in the pocket, lobs it near side, has a reception to Dodson, who's pulled down at the 12-yard line by Henderson.
9-yard pickup that time. Yeah.
Second down and 11. Chiawana has put themselves in a lot of second and third and long situations, but they've been able to keep converting. Williams looking left. Now scrambling. Back to the right on the run with Sapeni chasing. Lobs it, corner of the end zone, incomplete. And Williams just too difficult to take down, and Sapeni did everything right.
Yeah, he's a big-bodied quarterback, quick, has great balance, and you're right. Sapeni did everything he could try and do to get him to pull him down, but it's just too big and too strong.
3rd down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Godino to the left shoulder. Williams, who's looking to throw, lobs it, fade, back corner, too far for Cologne, incomplete.
Had him too, and that was the thing. Had he thrown it just a touch earlier, he had the step on him. And
well, but for me, that's not early. He's got to put more air under it. He's got to lob that to that back pylon. David Faitete and I, for relatively random reasons, watched half of the 2014 regular season game Hermiston played at Sandy a decade and a year ago. Dodson, field goal, plenty of leg on the left hash mark kick that is true from 28 yards away to extend Chiawana's lead to 17-0 with 7:27 left. I'll keep it here and kind of finish the concept of this story. And so Hermiston in that game at Sandy back in the first state championship year, they crushed Sandy. Mm-hmm. And Sandy was playing really well, and it was one of those kind of game of the weeks back when Oregon Live did a lot more prep stuff, and Hermiston just rolled right over them. And it comes to mind right now because Tim Rude was as good as any Bulldog who's played quarterback since I've been here at throwing those fade routes, at having the touch of being able to lob it, put the right weight on it to put it in to the hands of his receiver over everybody else. And really, I mean, as good as anybody I've ever seen while calling games here.
Yeah, and you could do that easy. I agree, maybe a little bit more, but he was running out of room. He was wide open had he lofted it up a little bit quicker and let him run underneath it there. Either way, he had him for the 6, but too long. Wow.
Dodson kicks it through the back of the end zone. And 17-0, the Chiawana advantage with 7:27 left in the first half. Dine in at Hermiston's own Delish Bistro. Enjoy seasonal specials like chicken fried steak served with gravy and crispy vegetables. Finish off with your favorite house-made gelato. Delish Bistro in Hermiston.
Hermiston needs to get something going right now, Eric. They need to start getting some push and going. They've got 3 first downs, 2 by, one by pass, 1 by run, and 1 by penalty. They need to at least get a couple of first downs and extend this for second period.
First down 10 at the 20-yard line. Play action. Throw out to left side, incomplete. A diving attempt to intercept that ball by Somerville, who read it well. And this is one of the things. Chiawana is daring Hermiston to throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
They are press coverage on the outside. They are stepping on all those quick runs. They are pressing the team to do something on the ground. And they're daring Braden Medelas to open up the top. Second out and 10 from the 20. Handoff and a right side run. Trying to get out to the edge. McCamey does. Turns upfield and is pulled down from behind. McCamey fights his way up to the 27-yard line. Turns it into a 7-yard gain. And this is one of those rarities about this Chiawana situation. The tackler, Gage Williams.
Yeah.
Quarterback and linebacker. You just don't see schools this big have guys, no matter how talented they are, play both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
McCamey behind Medelas, who's got Vinoy to his left shoulder in the backfield as well. Now move Cam over to his right shoulder on 3rd down and 3. 6:35 left in the second quarter. Handoff, and McCamey trying to get out to the left side, caught from behind. Tayton Sisney in there on the stop, the leading tackler for Chiawana. Forces the punt team for Hermiston out onto the field. Sisney's that guy that Scott Bond says has taken over the vocal leadership role for this Chiawana team, with so many big personalities who are now playing football on Saturdays. Cooper McPherson at Eastern Washington. We mentioned Julian Martinez already at George Fox. And then Brian Kuhn and Braxton Feldman at Eastern Washington. 4th down. Chiawana gets the kick away. Nicely kicked at the 50. It bounces out of bounds on the Chiawana side of the 50-yard line. That spot was allegedly right at the 50.
That was horrible mark. That was a horrible mark. That should have been back on about the 47-yard line. Another 3 yards.
5:49 left. Chiawana with the ball at the midfield stripe, leading 17-0. Here at Bulldog Stadium, the defending MCC champions.
See, now they mark it back at the 48.
No, they didn't. It's at the left hash mark 50.
Oh, they did, yeah. Okay.
1st down and 10. Williams moves Godino to his right shoulder in the shotgun set. Now Dodson tighter to the formation right. Looking left, now rolling back out to the right. Check that. This is Osterdock, the sophomore in at quarterback. Osterdock wrapped up in the backfield and dropped for a loss of 2. Emmett Osterdock, the sophomore, in at quarterback. Gage Williams over on the sideline. He's fine. He's having a slug of water. So the sophomore Osterdock, he's going to play with 5:12 left in the second quarter. Quick throw, left side, slings it incomplete, looking for Sean Rahman. Osterdock now on the season, 3 of 6, 26 yards passing. So he threw a little bit against Sageview on that opening night of the season. That Chiawana won 63-0. 3rd down 12. At the 48, right hash mark set. Osterdock to throw again. Over the middle, finds Somerville open for 1st down yardage down the left hash mark. Somerville found a spot in the zone, 17-yard gain, and a new set of downs for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, that's a tough break there because Hermiston did a pretty good job leading into that. That time there, though they were not able to get the pressure on the quarterback that they wanted to, early to make him move out of the pocket.
First down 10 from the 35, handoff to Sisney. Cooper Sisney running right. Shuffles away from one, cuts back to his left, breaks off of another tackler, pinballs middle of the field to cross the 20-yard line. Sisney a 16-yard run. The shifty running sophomore just makes guys miss left and right. He's got such quick jump cuts.
Yeah, both him and Godino, both are that way. Are they got scat back type moves and both have good jumps cuts.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Sisney still in the backfield and left of Williams. Osterdock looking to throw. Steps up away from pressure. The sophomore throws right sideline too hard. Rifled it past Dodson, who on the sideline had flashed into an opening.
Yeah.
And Osterdock just put way too much on it.
Yeah, that one there was where he just got to touch it. I mean, he That might have been 6. Hermiston, though, is doing a good job of getting some pressure and moving the quarterback out of the pocket, not giving him time. That time there he had to break and roll right and was able to do so.
Second down and 10 at the 19. Godino back in, handoff up the middle. He runs down to the 12-yard line, where he's pulled down from behind.
Yeah, I gave him up to 11 there. Yeah, they did. 8-yard gain. Yep, that's close. I'll give him 7-yard.
Third down and 2. They'll go back to this shotgun full house backfield, and Gage Williams is back in at the quarterback position. Takes it, hands it, left side run. Somerville trying to get out to the edge. He breaks one tackle, and James Young pulls him down at the 10-yard line. Gain a yard, needed 2. Fourth down and 1. With 3:18 left in the second quarter, up 17-0. Do they send Dodson out for another try? They do not. Dodson's out there, tight end to the right. But Godino behind Williams. Sisney to the right shoulder of Williams. Somerville to the left, handoff Godino straight up the middle. First down yardage, piles his way down to the 5-yard line. And a 5-yard gain for the Riverhawks. Chiawana looking out on to their 17-0 lead with 2:51 left in quarter number 2. Bulldogs defense is battling here, battling a very good Chiawana team. If we turn the clock back 12 months ago in this week against Chiawana, they scored 35 points in the second quarter, blew the game wide open.
Yep.
On their way to another touchdown, though, into the end zone left side run. Godino's got his second of the night from 5 yards out. Anthony Godino, 4 touchdowns on the season, his second one of the night. And he had some big power blockers to run behind, running to the left side.
Yeah, he did. That was just a, rack him and stack him there and just keep pushing. And Godino made the cut, broke himself away from the blockers, and was able to go ahead and trip on into the end zone.
So Dodson's PAT will get whistled dead. He doesn't even take a swing at it. Flag comes out from the near sideline. Going to be against Hermiston. They jumped. Or they were just lined up in the neutral zone. Or they didn't substitute legally. Chiawana declines it. Let him kick from the normal spot. Dodson is 12 of 12 this season from the extra point spot. Snaps good, holds there, and through. 2.5 minutes remaining, and Dodson, after the Godino touchdown run, extends Chiawana's lead to 24-0. Coming up at halftime, which is brought to you by Devon Oil's Circle K, we will spotlight a piece of the Hermiston School District. And in this case, we will spotlight the girls' soccer program and feature Omar Medina, the head coach in his 4th year. It's brought to you by the Hermiston School District, the Spotlight on Hermiston. By the way, let's spotlight this Saturday. Tomorrow, Hermiston High's Performing Arts Collective Dinner and Silent Auction fundraiser at the Eastern Oregon Trade and Event Center. Doors open at 5. Performances by Majesty Choir and the HHS Improv Troupe. And dinner at 6 o'clock. Tickets are $50 each. We have been well taken care of now for more than a year, well over a year, by one of the alum of the Hermiston High School Drama Department. Mariah Phillips, I'll do a shout out right now, is working her last game at least for a while. I told her keep the key. We want you back when you're back, but is about to head off to LeGrand to start her college career at Eastern Oregon University. Araya has been a fantastic studio engineer. Sonny, can you imagine what it's like working for me? You know what? Don't answer that. So we wish Araya the best here. Dodson ready to kick it away. 24-0 Chiawana. Low liner angled past Star into the end zone. And another touchback. So 2:30 left. Lots of time. Bulldogs have 2 timeouts. Down 24-0. And for better or worse, this crowd at Bulldog Stadium needs something to get excited about. There's a lull tonight.
There is. I mean, it has been very, very, very quiet out in front of us. You know, usually we're having to push the cough drop to keep from hearing some of the comments being made out there. And tonight, it's below us is about as quiet as can be.
First down and 10 at the 20, attacking left to right. Hayden Larson to the right shoulder, Braden Medelis. The sophomore quarterback takes the snap and flags out. Or a pause. I don't see a marker.
No, neither do I.
I see pointing.
Where's the flag at? Did he drop it right there by the... Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. It was hiding in the glare of the lights over about the 17-yard line. It is a false start penalty on Hermiston. 5 yards back.
And that's what you don't want to do, how you don't want to start when you're already on your 20 again, is getting that false start. Now you got 85 yards to go.
Twin receivers each way for Medelis on first down and 15. Medelis pressured, pumps, pulls it down, will run it now himself up the middle. Medelis spins off of a tackler and muscles his way up to the 28-yard line. 13-yard gain for Braden Medelis on the ground on his first true rush of the night. About 26 yards rushing, 20 carries this season. He has scrambling ability, but they are trying to keep him and protect him in the pocket. Near side throw incomplete. Henderson, the intended receiver. Gallagher, who had the interception on the opening drive of the game, in coverage. And if he's got just one more step of a jump.
Yeah. That was going rack there. It was.
It's a conundrum, right? Like, what does that call for now? It calls for a double move. But a double move on the outside takes a little bit more time for the quarterback. And, you know, Braden's got to be able to stand in that pocket and then deliver off after the second move, deep ball down the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to go. They got the 2 wide receivers. Oh, they only got the 1 wide receiver this side. You know, that. No, they do have the 2 here. Send them both. Send one out and towards the H and send the other one all the way down and make them have to cover that and throw it up over the
Nate
top.
Henderson is facing press coverage by Rahman here on the outside. They're also man-up press coverage on the outside again. Now they drop into a zone. Medelis looking to throw, scrambles, dumps it on the left flat, has a man, a completion, and positive yardage for Hermiston up to the 38-yard line, completed to Tabor Mills. Bulldog first down. Gain of 10.
Bulldogs 5th first down. That's what they need to do. They just need to keep stringing these together, Eric.
95 seconds left before halftime. 2 receiver options right for Medelis. Riverhawks bring in 6. The blitz doesn't get home. Completion over the middle. And a broken tackle across midfield. Cash Edwards from the H-back position has it to the Chiawana 48-yard line. And David Tete will call a timeout.
14-yard pickup that time for Cash and the first down.
Minute 19 left, down 24-0. Hermiston trying to get on the scoreboard before halftime. Halftime here is brought to you by Devon Oil's Circle K. Check out Circle K gas station in Hermiston on 395 for premium fuels, a wide variety of snacks, and ATM open to the public. Devon Oil's Circle K bringing you our halftime coverage here on your hometown radio station. Bulldog football is also brought to you in part by Intermountain West Insulation. Intermountain West Insulation, the choice for home comfort and efficiency. Whether you're replacing existing windows or building new, call today for a free quote and a guarantee of quality. Intermountain West Insulation in Hermiston. Bulldogs have it in Chiawana territory for the first time tonight. At the 48, first down and 10. Larson in the backfield with Medelas. He's been staying in to block. 3 receiver targets to the right. Minute 19 left. Hermiston, 1 timeout remaining. Right side throw, looped out to Henderson. Henderson has it and caught immediately, pulled down by Somerville. Let's go. 5-yard gain. Bulldogs going no huddle. Larson to the right shoulder of Medelas. 3 receivers left this time. Medelas looking that way. Pumps, pulls it down, scrambling right. Medelas at the sideline. Downfield pass incomplete. Rahman knocks it down on a pass intended for Nate Henderson.
Good idea that time. Just go ahead and make sure that nobody else, the only critique I had to that, Eric, it was throwing too much to the center of the field. On the sideline there, if you know what I mean there.
3rd down and 5 at the 43-yard line, right hash mark. Paul Starr in for Ryan Allen. And Starr out wide to the right side. Snap, bobbled by Medelas, picks it back up, throws it near sideline, incomplete in the direction of Starr.
That was destined for failure right from the beginning. In fact, I'm not so sure why Hermiston was not called for breaking the huddle with 12 players.
.46 seconds remaining, 4th down and 5. Hermiston leaves the offense on the field, trailing 24-0. A whistle and a pause, and the ball was spotted on the wrong yard line. It's the 43, not the 44. Bulldog receivers and H-backs seem a little bit confused, at least a couple of them, as what play is in here. 4th down and 5. Motion man left to right. Looking to set up a screen back over to the left side. Underthrown ball. Larson can't pull it in. Incomplete, a turnover on downs.
Yeah, when that one there goes like that and you throw behind your screen guy and it's low, that's when your receiver or your running back, as it was there, kind of looks at your quarterback funny and says, don't do that again. Those are the ones that get you really rung.
So what's Chiawana want to do here? 24-0 with 41 seconds before the half. They have all 3 timeouts. Gage Williams will be back at quarterback with Anthony Godino in the backfield. Ira Martinez is the receiver left. 3 options right. Williams to throw. Pumps, looking, right side, and dropped in and out of the hands of Andre Mayer.
Yeah, he's had the last 2 passes that he's thrown pretty well dropped.
Second down and 10, 43-yard line, still left hash mark. And now a pause.
They mark it on the wrong, set it on the wrong.
This appears to be a clock situation. Back judge coming in. Now the whole crew is together. Are we going to get some details from Chris Wilkes?
Oh, they put time back on the clock, 6 seconds back on.
So 34 in the game clock. Second out and 10. Williams hitting the back, bounces off of both of them, scrambles backwards, turns around, now to his left side. Huge block will be flagged as Williams races out of bounds into the Hermiston sideline at the 44-yard line. He made it a yard gain, but Isaiah Delgado, the right tackle, is going to get called for an illegal crackback block. Freeing up Williams, who should have been tackled for a loss on a sack. He had 2 Bulldogs draped on him, and he shed them both.
Yeah, and that's a tough penalty there. What is your lineman supposed to do there? Whenever it was just as much the lineman as the defender going after the quarterback. Tough break, but you're right. I mean, that was a huge block.
I think he extends his arms out.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Had he gone there and just, absorbed the guy and shielded him, then I don't think you would have got that. But it was just I guess if you want to call it the violent matter of the throwing the hands out. Yeah,
look, in your era, that's not getting whistled.
No, absolutely not.
And it might still get celebrated in film, but it's not getting flagged 15 years ago even. Second out at a country mile after the 15-yard penalty. Now a flag, far sideline. Stops things with 24 seconds remaining. 24-0.
They going to call illegal substitution this time? No? Whoa.
You're not having the best guessing night tonight.
Well, because if they were going to call that because they subbed for Chiawana the same way that Hermiston did, but they didn't call it either way. But they had 12 people on the field whenever they got to the line of scrimmage.
Encroachment against Hermiston. And up to the 32-yard line. 24 seconds remaining. Chiawana does have their timeouts if they can make a positive play here. Gage Williams has 3 receiver targets to his right and a man alone to his left. Williams takes a snap, steps up in the pocket. Lots of time. Now he pulls it down. Grabbed. Escapes another. Rolling out to his right. Williams still on the run. Downfield, incomplete. Sean Rame was trying to work his way back to open space, and he did. But Williams couldn't get quite enough on it.
Boy, but this kid is a pretty good athlete. He is, he's got that escapability of the speed to be able to get out, the toughness and the strength to pull away from a tackle, and still the wherewithal to go ahead and get it very close to his receiver.
Third down, 21. 12 seconds remaining. Handoff to Godino. Godino running to the right side. Godino's got some space out to the outside. Has he move out to the right, moves outside the numbers, breaks a tackle just short of midfield. Now puts his shoulder down and runs out of bounds at the 51-yard line. 3 seconds remaining.
Okay, I didn't know we were in soccer.
What?
51-yard line.
At the 49-yard line.
Yeah. Canadian football would have been 51. That's right. I think. So they're putting more on?
They'll make it 5 seconds. 4th down and 4 to go. Short of the midfield stripe by a yard. The gain of 17. Now Williams will go deep. Down the middle. Incomplete.
Wow, good defense. Good defense.
Hunter Hansel backtracking and knocked it away. And that's the final seconds on the clock. However, there is a holding penalty against Chiawana. Hermiston says we will decline it. And to the locker room they go. 24-0 Chiawana. Halftime here in Hermiston. And halftime is brought to you by Devitt Oil Circle K. We come back and we will feature the Hermiston girls soccer team here on AM 1360 KOHU. one of 3 trips. All of the matchups with the schools from the Kennewick School District are played at Lamson. There are no trips to Edgar Brown, as Hermiston is hosting all 3 of the Pasco School District teams, including homecoming, which is 2 weeks away. On October 3rd, the first ever matchup with Sageview. That Sageview team lost to Kamaikan 56-7 last night. Tonight, along with this one, Walla Walla is at Hanford, Kennewick at Pasco, Richland is at Southridge. Chiawana next week is going to be back on Thursday. Chiawana has played, this is their first Friday game of the season, and in the first month of the season, they will play 1 Friday and 3 Thursdays. Scott Bond said, these Thursdays are tough. You got to go to school right tomorrow morning. I got 0 period. So tomorrow he gets to take the day off. He told me Saturdays are for the family, and then back to work on Sundays to get ready for the next week. So next week is a Thursday. They will host Hanford at Edgar Brown Stadium. Hermiston will have the ball to start the second half, trailing 24-0 here at Kennison Field. As Morgan Dodson, his first kickoff was not into the end zone, but ended up being fielded and then right on the sideline stepped out at the 3. The subsequent kickoffs have all gone deep into the purple of the end zone. This one's going to be returnable. Starr at the 8-yard line, moving to the middle of the field. Paul Starr across the 15, and he's slowed up and gets stood up. Still turning his feet, but a avalanche of white shirts stops Starr at the 18. A gain of 10 on the return. First down and 10. As Braden Medelas, the sophomore, joins the huddle to bring the play into this crew. No changes on that offensive line. The starters brought to you by Rogers Toyota. Max Shelhonick at left tackle, then Keegan Harshberger, Seth Reeve, Guillermo Salazar, and Angel Ordaz. Hayden Larson in the backfield. James Young and Ryan Allen to the left. Nate Henderson to the right. For the sophomore quarterback, Medelas, Allen motions left to right, runs back behind him. Handoff to Larson, and he's tackled up the middle. A loss of a yard. Back towards the 17, and Dylan Caldwell, the offensive coordinator who was the left tackle for that state championship team I mentioned in the first half, that game where they dominated Sandy. Just kind of a frustrated wave of that clipboard that he's got in his hand. This offensive line did not have a great Saturday after the Walla Walla game last week. Pressure again. Medelas trying to scramble through it, caught from behind and dragged down for a sack and a loss. Blitzing on the play and getting home was Gage Williams. It was interesting. David Fine-Tete was candid at the linebacker luncheon on Thursday at Desert Lanes and told the group that was there, look, when they looked back at the film and graded it out, 70% or so of the plays, somebody in that offensive line is going the wrong way.
Yeah, and it looked like that time there we might have stepped the wrong way on one of them.
3rd and 14, throw over the middle, and Sisney steps up and drops the H-back Vinoy, who's got the catch. He's got 3 positive yards, but 4th down and 11. Hermiston goes 3 and out on their opening drive of the second half, trailing 24-0. Not quite 2 minutes in. Cooper Sisney back to return the kick. Respecting the boot that Shilhonic has shown the couple of punts he's had through the first half. Standing back about his own 43. Shilhonic hits it high into there. Good hang time, shorter kick. Bounces at the 40, takes a Hermiston roll towards midfield, and will go out of bounds just a couple of inches short of the midfield stripe here on Kennison Field.
Yeah, and that's a good effective punt, Eric. I mean, he's been very good. That was the first time on his punt that he did not have to jump or move out of the way to go get the football to get it off. A good job that time of keeping the head down, burying the chin, and driving the football out of deep territory.
First half, Gage Williams as quarterback. What did he end up with?
He ended up with 87 total yards passing. That was all it was. He was. Well,
here we go. First down and 10 from the midfield stripe. Williams has the back. Godino to his right. Williams to throw. Lobs it to a wide open Somerville out on the left side. And Somerville's got another catch. 11-yard gain down to the 39-yard line. First down in the all-white uniforms. Chiawana attacking left to right. Bulldogs defense trying to get some pushback here. Black tops, purple numerals, gold piping around the numerals. The white pants with purple and gold down the sides, and the white helmets for Hermiston.
He was 10 of 16 in the air, Eric. So, a lot of completions. Came in and got a little bit of a breather there by Osterbrock, and he was 2 of 4 for 15 yards.
Chingang got tangled up on the far sideline. They've got that sorted out. First down and 10 at the Hermiston 39-yard line. Godino to the left shoulder of Williams. Williams again looking to throw. Pressured. Flag comes out as Williams drops to his left, dumps it underneath, and the underneath route works down to the 25-yard line, where McCamey makes the tackle from behind on Tatum Sisney. 14-yard gain, but there is a marker out on the near sideline in front of the Hermiston bench is where this one came from originally. Riverhawks in illegal formation, not doing themselves any favors. They had a pretty high total in that first half for penalties.
Yeah, they did. They had the 7 penalties in the first half for 60 yards. And there was one that was declined in there, but that hurt their cause. And Hermiston, they did pretty good. They only had the 6.
Timeout by Chiawana, and that pause with 9:04 left in the third quarter gives us, with Chiawana pausing the clock, an opportunity. Let's look at all the first half numbers you got.
Okay, for the Riverhawks had the ball for 21 rushes, 151 yards, Eric, in that first half with 2 touchdowns, both by Godino. Passing-wise, they were 12 of 22 for 102 yards and 43 total plays, 253 yards. They had 12 first downs in the first half, 11 of them by run and 1 by pass. The big 24-yard pickup by Martinez. Again, 7 penalties for 60 yards. Godino had 11 rushes, 71 yards in that first half. And Sisney had 6 for 50 yards. Williams 2 for 20, and Somerville 2 for 10. For the Bulldogs had 6 rushes for 30 yards. They were 6 of 14 for 36 yards, 20 total plays, 66 yards. They had 6 first downs, 6 penalties for 25 yards. Nobody for the Bulldogs had more than 1 reception, the longest being a Cash Edwards 14-yard reception.
First down 15 after the penalty and the timeout by Chiawana, up 24-0, 9:04 left third quarter, and a delayed handoff up the middle. Godino has it, and running down the right hash marks, pulled down from behind. Cole McCamey in on another stop up to the 33-yard line. Gain of 11 on the run by Anthony Godino. From the 33 right hash mark, second down and 4 to go. Gage Williams motions Tatum Sisney left to right. 2 receivers each way. Wide open, Somerville left flat, has the catch and has it inside the 20-yard line. Chiawana just continues to attack the soft coverage out on the wings. Larson and Vinoy in on the stop.
Yeah, 20-yard pickup that time down to the 17-yard line. That's Somerville's fifth
15.
catch. 50.
From the 33. First down and 10. Sisney is in. Cooper Sisney in the backfield. Williams to throw, though. Williams now steps up in the pocket. He's running behind Sisney. He'll keep it himself and run out of bounds far sideline. Out at the 12. Move it to the 11. Give him 7 on the rush. And a little less than 8 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. 24 zip. Chiawana looking to add on to that. Second down. About 3. Williams to throw. Stands in the pocket. Lobs it out near sideline. Dodson another catch. And a good open field tackle made by Henderson to keep Dodson out of the end zone. But he is down to the 1 where he sprawls out after the Henderson hit. Good open field tackle there by Nate.
Yep, that is what he needed to get there.
Make Chiawana run one more play at least to get this in. First and goal from the 1. Sisney in the backfield, hand it to Cooper Sisney. He'll go in the middle and pile himself behind Fernando Perez, the center, into the end zone for the 1-yard touchdown run.
Well, you know, some good things happened on that, but then we just allowed him to escape again, and that's what Williams was able to do: escape the tackles, get a big gain out there, and then let his receivers and his and Sisney do the rest of the work.
Dodson's kick is through, and with 7:30 left in quarter number 3, the Chiawana lead is 31-0. We're back to Bulldog Stadium after this on AM 1360 KOHU. Eric and Sonny with you on KOHU. Second half action, 7:30 left after a 1-yard touchdown run by Cooper Sisney. The lead for Chiawana is 31-0. Dodson, high kick, taken to the 4 by Starr. Paul Starr moving to the left side, and Starr is stood up. Gets bound to the 17-yard line again. He kicks it so high that when he doesn't kick it in the end zone, it just allows the coverage to get down there so quickly.
Yeah, that's the weapon they got with that. You know, we had it with Medina's there for years that was able to do that, and those are the type of kickers you want. If they don't drive it through the end zone, at least get it up high. And that's what's making Shahanik's punts so effective, is the fact that he's not driving it so far for for huge distances. He's getting the ball way up in the air and added to it the distance.
Luis Medina also part of that 2014 state championship team, one of the 2 Oregon 5A banners that are on the backside of Bulldog Stadium. Ryan Allen in motion, left to right. Throw it out that way on a swing pass. Allen trying to get on the run and caught from behind. Who else? Cooper Sisney chases him down on the sideline and ends up being a loss of a yard or two out on the Chiawana side.
Wow, that's a very genuine. They didn't give him a loss at all on that play. That was a nice, nice, genuine spot.
Cole McCamey in the backfield to the right shoulder of Braden Medeles. 7:16 on the clock. Hermiston trying to find their first points of the night against these visiting Riverhawks. Chiawana brings 7. Handoff. McCamey hitting the backfield and is pile driven down to the ground by Cole Holtgren, the linebacker who was coming in.
Now, Hermiston right now, Eric, I watched it at that time. Hermiston is standing up and hunting. They're hunting for that guy that's coming instead of going out and getting the contact in the zone offense there.
They're down 15 to go. Chiawana again brings 7. Lob pass incomplete to Vanoy out of the backfield. Flag out at the end late after everything. And it wasn't actually Medeles who was down at the end of the play. It was one of the Bulldogs, although maybe this is actually going against the Bulldogs.
I think they were kind of tied up a little bit, and he tried to do a suplex throw and kind of made it look a little bit more than what it was, but it looks like they're going to mark it against.
It's a personal foul penalty against Hermiston.
Hermiston, yeah.
It's only half the distance, so from the 14 down to the 7, and 4th down and 20 for Hermiston. Max Chakon has kicked the ball well here tonight. He's going to be kicking this one from one step in front of the end line of this end zone. High snap over his head. It hit the goalpost and is actually caught by a Riverhawk, but it's a safety. Gage Williams is the guy who's holding the ball over his head, but the goalpost is out, so it's a safety. 33-0 with 6:39 left.
Well, I guess I'm not sure what they're going to do. If they're going to give it to, if they're going to let Shahanic punt it, since he's been having a very good night punting. But either way, I mean,
Jose Tena-Guardado has not kicked a ball yet in this game tonight. He did on Wednesday. Is the freshman beat Chiawana 22-8. Big win for them. They added one late.
Yeah, it appears that Shahanic, it looked like he was the one that was talking to the official. Yeah, they are going to punt it.
So 3-3-0 score line after the safety.
Looked like he was going to. Yeah, that's Shahanic.
Chiawana is poised to have some pretty good field position here. Now, Shulhanic is going to get to kick this one with no rush on this safety punt. So, should be able to really boom this one high and far and let the coverage team get down there. As Chiawana tries to block, Angel Colon is the deep man in the middle.
Good kick. Good kick.
Huge kick. Bounces at 30. Takes Hermiston roll inside the 20. Colon will just shepherd it out of bounds.
You're going to mark it on the 15? Well, far side guy marked it on the 15 down to the 20.
On the 20 is where they will have it.
60-yard punt. Good punt. exactly what they needed at the time, something to go ahead and give them a jump start in some way out here. And Chiawana, like I said, he's been booming the football. And that time there, you could tell he not only got it high, but he also got it on an angle away that was able to go ahead and take a good bounce.
6:33 left. Chiawana, the offense back out with first down and 10 from the 20. 3 options left. Pump that way. Gage Williams steps up, hit in the backfield, sheds a tackler, breaks another. Hit from behind and pulled down by Sepeni. Check that McCamey. But an 8-yard scramble for Gage Williams, and Hermiston has not been able to take him down with one guy.
No, and that's the thing. And so far you saw again there where we tried to make that first tackle was up high. A guy that strong, you're not going to be able to arm tackle him up high.
Second down, 2 to go. Anthony Godino to the right shoulder of Williams. Motion Tatum Sisney left to right. 2 options each way. Williams to throw. Pumps, pulls it down. Rolling out to the right, wanting to throw. Dumps it underneath. Incomplete. Ira Martinez not able to connect on the other end of that. Third down and 2 at their own 28-yard line. Ball in the middle of the park. Cologne is the receiver alone to the right side. 2 options wide left. H-back to the left as well. Hand off to Cooper Sisney. Cooper Sisney running behind his brother. Has the outside the numbers, and is shoved out of bounds into the Hermiston sideline at the 40 after a 12-yard gain at a first down. So the chains move with 5:37 left in quarter number 3. Right hash mark set. Gage Williams. Flag pauses before this first down play. He was back to throw again. Another pre-snap penalty against Chiawana, so they'll march back 5 yards. It has not really meant a whole lot. Hermiston has yet to stop Chiawana on any of their offensive drives. Trailing 33-0, Bulldogs defense defending a first down and 15. Nobody's there for Williams to hand off to. Williams bottled up and is pulled down after a 2-yard scramble. Cooper Sisney was not there for what was set up as a read option play. And so Williams just had to pull it down and run.
Yeah, one of them went the wrong direction, and usually it's your running back that goes the wrong direction, and or your that time the quarterback had to eat it and go.
The senior back, Godino, comes back in. 2 touchdowns tonight on the ground, bringing his season total to 4 here in week 3. Godino staying to block. Williams, deep ball, left side, over the top and behind Cologne. He reaches back behind him and hauls it in. Cologne steps out of bounds. Mark him out at the 22-yard line. 44 yards on the completion. .449 left in the third quarter. Williams to throw again. Backpedaling. Throws it over the middle. Incomplete. Over the top of Somerville. They were trying to set up a screen for the wide receiver. Second down, 10 to go. Two receivers right. The H-back, Sisney, is set up that way as well. Williams Turns in hands. Godino up the middle. Shifts to his left. Dives forward. And has first down yardage. Getting just short of the 10-yard line, but picks up 11 on the run. At the left hash mark, first down and 10 from the 11. Clock spinning. Williams to throw. Breaks a tackle. Coming to the left. Sheds another. Switches field. Back out to the right side. Still on the run. Godino saying, just run. I got you. Just run. And he does into the end zone. An 11-yard touchdown run for Gage Williams.
Again,
he wanted a passing touchdown, Sonny.
yeah. Well, that we talked about it, and I just said it a few plays earlier. You can't try and tackle this kid up high. He is way too strong and way too fast, and he just shrugged off that attempted tackle at the shoulder pads and was able, with his speed and size, able to head and reverse field and get the corner.
Morgan Dodson with the point after attempt. 4:03 left in the third quarter. And it's through to make it 40-0. Chiawana on the front foot here tonight on their way to a 3-0 start to the season. When we come back to Bulldog Stadium here on AM 1360 KOHU. Paul Starr right, Nate Henderson left. They'll angle it Starr's way again. The sophomore has it at the 9, moving to the middle of the field. Gets a good block from Henderson, switches field. A flag comes out from way far away as Starr is able to move it up to the 20-yard line. $40-0, Riverhawks leading. Final minutes of quarter number 3. Waiting for the indication on the marker. Chris Wiltz is wearing a microphone, but it is
Holding Hermiston.
Hardly perceptible. It is a holding penalty against Hermiston. So the offense takes over at the 10. First down and 10 to go. Motion man right to left. Hand it to Larson. Larson right side run, and he shoulders his way. Running low and pushing forward up to the to the 14-yard line. 4-yard run. Allen and Henderson to the right. And James Young left. Second down and 6. Medeles slaps his hands together, takes it on the second slap. Play action, throw it right side, tipped and incomplete. Cooper Sisney jumped the route and just missed
He's
a
beaten.
pick.
He's pounding himself on his own ear holes because he had pick 6 all over that. Wow.
I mean, I really do think it's worth mentioning again. Scott Bond, who's been at Chiawana forever, Cooper has the chance to be one of the best players Chiawana has ever had. He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
He led the team in tackles as a freshman. His instincts are very good.
Very good.
Medella's on 3rd down and 6. Allen motions behind Medella's from left to right. Throw it near side. James Young has the wide receiver screen, but caught from behind. Just too slow developing, and Luke Petty was able to chase it down, the tackle on the backside. Young does that. It's positive yardage. It's a 3-yard gain. But on 4th and 3, down 40-0 with 2:11 left in the 3rd quarter. From their own 17, Hermiston will punt. And Cooper Sisney still kind of looking up to the sky and shaking his head. He kind of looks like mumbling at him. I mean, he's like, this thing should be over. High snap again, backtracking. Shalhonik's got it, then launches it away. Good kick, takes a Hermiston roll just short of the 40, across the 40 up to the 46-yard line, where it is downed. And Chiawana will send Emmett Osterdock back out. The sophomore did throw a handful of passes in the first half, a series in the middle of the 2nd quarter, the one that ended in the field goal.
Yeah, he was sacked once, but was 2 of 4 passing-wise, and did a very good job out there.
And Reggie Vasquez in the backfield. Vasquez, the junior. First opportunity for him. Motion from the right side towards the formation. Osterdock gets the throw, left side, delivers, dumps, complete. And a quick hit or run out to the far side. Cologne has it. And Cologne gains 12 down to the Hermiston 33. But wait, there's more. I mean, Scott Bond and the crew, they've got plenty of penalty conversations to have with their group, because they have made things harder on themselves.
Oh, illegal receiver downfield. Wow.
Move it back to the 50, final 38 seconds of the 3rd quarter. I mean, but this Chiawana team has been so efficient offensively that all these penalties have just meant, hey, we're going to make it a little harder on ourselves.
Yeah.
Watch me do this with one hand tied behind my back. I'll tie it behind my back. Hand off to Vasquez. Vasquez counterplay. He's got space down the middle. Vasquez moves back out to his left. Bounces off a tackler. He's inside the 20-yard line. Pulled down from behind. Vasquez, huge run on the play.
Down to the 15.
Last play of the 3rd quarter. Tabor Mills made the saving tackle. And Chiawana knocking on the door and turning the 4th quarter into a running clock game. 40-0, their lead after 3 will return here to Hermiston High School at AM 1360 KOHU. Oh, we're not to post game yet. Come back to me after this. The start of the fourth quarter starts with a 15-yard touchdown pass, Ebed Osterdock to Angel Cologne. And so that touchdown means that we will play the remainder of quarter four with a running clock. And Osterdock's got his first touchdown pass of his varsity career, completing to the senior Cologne. It was a well-thrown pass.
Very nice pass. Up over the top.
Dodson hammers it through. 47-0 here with 11:56. So running clock happens in Washington, 45 points or more. Now the clock will only pause on scoring plays, on timeouts, and if there were an injury. And so the final just under 12 minutes of this Week 3 game here in Hermiston is going to end a little bit earlier than Hermiston would have hoped. But Chiawana has just, they've been efficient. They've recovered from any of their mistakes, the penalties, things like that, so well tonight.
Well, they are going to be about 50-50 tonight on pass to run. Right now in that first, so far in the game, Williams was 14 of 24 in the air, and Osterbock was 3 of 5 right now, plus a touchdown. So, you've got 29 passes in the game and 17 receptions, and I believe it's 28 rushes. Might be 20. No, it is 29 rushes right now for them.
New kickoff put in play by Gavin Neff. And it's again Paul Starr. Paul Starr tries to switch the field. Spins, turns around. He is going backwards. Now moves back across the 15-yard line. And, Paul ran probably 50 extra yards on that play that he did on the previous kick return. But each of his last 3 kick returns have been back to the 17.
Yeah, he got 10 positive yards out of it, and that's the positive thing out of it. He's not allowing the ball to get to the ground and go through the end zone.
David Faitete says, there have been some of these younger guys been very competitive in practices. Paul Starr keeps tapping people out on kick returns. He wants more reps and more reps and more reps. A real battle this week between Hunter Hansel and Tanner Wicks at the starting cornerback position, opposite of James Young. Braden Medella still in there, looking to throw, scrambling left, throws it low, dropped on the far sideline. Pass was down around the knees of Ryan Allen. He couldn't dig it out.
Well, and that's the thing, Braden, whenever he goes like that, he's throwing out, now he's having to bust the pocket like that, and he's kind of throwing off balance and off the back foot, which is going to drive either the ball way high or drive it into the ground.
Second down and 10 at the 17 left hash mark. Medelis takes a snap. Throw slips out of his hands. Called a fumble. Dive towards the goal line. And Mills, who was the intended receiver, back on top of it. That ball just slipped out of the hands of Medeles. Called a fumble. And it's all the way back to the 1.
Wow.
Third down at a country mile after the loss of 16. McCamey in the backfield. Medelas gets the play off, hands it to McCamey, trying to run near sideline, gets himself a little bit of space out to the edge, shoved into his bench, gets it out across the 10, about a 10-yard run for Cole McCamey. And creates some space for Max Shelonic. Last 2 snaps to him have been quite high. One of them, 2 snaps ago, was over his head and off of the goalpost for a safety on the other end of the field. Most of the snaps tonight have been on the high side of things. There's a good snap. And Shelonic hammers it away. High kick that bounces at the 42, takes a Hermiston roll on the other side of the 50. And Zaid Martinez is just backing away from it. The junior will give way, and the kick goes all the way down to the 43-yard line. 48-yard punt. 8:23, clock spinning here in quarter number 4. Running clock with a 47-0 lead for Chiawana. Emmett Osterdock again in the backfield at the quarterback spot, with Reggie Vasquez next to him. Vasquez came in the game with 115 on the ground, mostly running in this second unit situation. A little counter play there, gains 4. Up to the 47-yard line for Vasquez to bring up 2nd down and 6 to go.
I don't believe Godino will be back in the game, but Godino was 13 rushes, 93 yards on the game, Eric. A good night for him. And 2 touchdowns.
Gets him over 200 yards rushing for the season. 4 touchdowns for Chiawana. They will stay on top of the standings. Hand off to Vasquez. Vasquez finds 1st down yardage. Going down the middle of the field. Gets stood up at the Hermiston 46-yard line. After, however, a gain of 7. Some of the guys on the field now, they'll meet again on Monday. JV goes last. Hermiston, Chiawana, 2 of the 5 teams in the conference that actually have JV. Up the middle run, break a tackle or 2, and rumble down to the 32. New ball carrier in is Robert Kitty, a sophomore, who's 5'8", 175. Osterdock takes a look back to the east end zone. Sees on that brand new giant video board that's got all sorts of different bells and whistles and replays and pictures of players, and he sees that we're halfway through the 4th quarter. Up 47-0. Handoff, Kitty again in the backfield. Breaks a tackle, running out to the right. Kitty tripped up.
4-yard
Hansel
pickup.
makes the stop.
4-yard pickup that time, but he was stopped for a loss, and we just could not bring him down.
Hansel, after the tackle, comes off. Paul Starr steps on. He'll play it a cornerback on the near side. 2nd down. 7 to go. High snap, pulled down, handed off. Back to Vasquez. Vasquez tripped up, but still gains 6 down to the 28, the 24. Star's going to come off. First Bulldog to be excused for a play because his knee aren't covered by his knee pads. They missed that on all those kick returns tonight. Third down and 1. Vasquez to the right shoulder of the sophomore Osterdock. He's got his hands on the towel behind his back, now puts him in front, takes the snap, hands off to Vasquez. Vasquez down the middle, Vasquez plowing his way along the right hash mark all the way down to the 13-yard line to move the chains for the Riverhawks on an 11-yard gain.
They are just absolutely lighting this up out there right now, Eric. It's trying to do that, but I tell you, they're an impressive football team. They are.
They are a program that isn't as visually impressive on the far sideline as they've been in years past. Scott Bond did say in the preseason story that Jeff Morrow did for the Tri-City Herald, they're down from about 120 in the program to the 85 range. Told me that as well this week when we talked. And another run for Vasquez to the 8-yard line, pick up about 4. So what is the impact of Sageview? Well, that's a part of it, is the sub-varsity levels. Those kids, in some cases, have ended up with Don Hogue, the former defensive coordinator here at Chiawana, as he takes over as the new head coach at Sageview. Hogue had been part of, like a lot of this Chiawana staff still, the Steve Graff crew that came over from Pasco when Chiawana opened in 2009. And now here in 2025, it's the third high school in the Pasco School District. Vasquez spins down to the 1. 7-yard run. Vasquez just kept out with 2.5 minutes remaining in the contest. Riverhawks to punch one more in. It was 56-0 up at Edgar Brown Stadium a year ago. But that included the 35-point second quarter explosion that made it a running clock game for the entire second half last year up there. This is better, but there's still a long ways for Hermiston to get to where Chiawana is, still the kings of this conference. Kitty's going to get the run from a yard out and score. Minute 56, and Robert Kitty is on the scores chart.
'24th first down of the night, Eric, and a good portion of them all by the run. I think they only got like 4 first downs by passing tonight.
Well, very few opportunities for the starting guys to be out there, but still, for PAT. Oh, penalty on Chiawana celebration after the touchdown. That'll be assessed on the kickoff. Just another challenge for Morgan Dodson, who's been perfect tonight on his PATs.
That'll be their 11th penalty on the night and 10th accepted.
But you do have on PAT guys like Cole Gallagher is out there. He had the interception on Hermiston's first drive of the game. The hold is there. The kick for Dodson is true. And 54-0 is the lead. Hermiston will have a minute 56 when they get the ball to try to get something, whatever you want to look at here, before they get into prep for Kamiakin next week. Let's look ahead with LIUNA, the Laborers International Union of North America. It's an opportunity for you to earn while you learn with their accredited apprenticeship program. Learn more at OregonLaborers.com. Chiawana is going to be hosting at Edgar Brown next Thursday night the Hanford Falcons, as they will improve to 3-0 this week. They'll look to go to 4-0 next week. If you look at the road ahead, so the Kamaikan game last week, now Hanford, Chiawana will be heavy favorites just like they were coming in tonight. They will be favorites against Southridge, although there's been plenty of chatter that that team has got a lot of pieces in place. They'll be favorites against Pasco, the 17th against Kennewick, the 24th against Richland. That's where likely the MCC title is decided, and if the Lions or the Bombers can upend this Riverhawks team that has won a couple of these titles in a row now. 15-yard penalty means kicking it off from the 25. Not Dodson's job here. Neff gets to kick it. Neff kicks it pretty well at the 25-yard line. Up returner, moving to the middle of the field at the 30. And Allen returns it about 45 yards, gains 5 yards because he was running left to right most of that time, trying to find himself a seam. And so the final minute 35 will tick off of the clock. Hermiston to Kamaikan next week, and then homecoming. We're back here on the 3rd with the fireworks and the welcome to the world Sageview Lobos. The very first football matchup between those two programs. This clock is running. Hermiston kind of slow to get this play in. Still Allen, slot left. Medelas fakes a handoff, throws it near side. James Young has it. James Young is going to break one tackle and tripped up to the 37-yard line. Maybe 36 is where it ends up being. 2nd and 4. Final half minute. 54-0. Chiawana on their way to 3-0. Medelas, deep ball over the middle, finds Allen. And Ryan Allen into Chiawana territory down to the 45-yard line. Ten seconds left. Hermiston will call a timeout. Make one more big play.
It's a 17-yard pickup?
No, it was
50.
more than that. Where was the line of scrimmage?
Was it right at the 40?
No, it was farther back than that. Because it started...
We were at the 28. Got 5.
So from the 33, so 22 yards?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Oregon State in Eugene, visiting the Ducks. Kickoff's noon. Beaver pregame show begins at 11 a.m. here on AM 1360. First down 10 at the 45, attacking left to right. Medella is probably the last play of the game. Over the middle again, completes it to Young. Young down to the 34-yard line. And Hermiston will use their last timeout. Or their second timeout, excuse me. 3 seconds left. This will be the last play, presumably. Beavers at 11 a.m. tomorrow, next Friday night. Bulldogs and our coverage with Hermiston traveling to Lamson Stadium to take on Kamiakin. Begins at 5:30. You can listen on the radio at AM 1360, KOHU. You can listen online at gohermiston.com. You can listen online at mixler.com/1360-KOHU, the web stream powered by Blue Mountain Networks. 3 seconds left. First down and 10 from the 34. Medella's one more throw. Flag firsts, not the last play. Although, dirty secret, now the time should just run off. Unless Hermiston uses their last time out. Yeah, it's a procedure penalty. Because it doesn't stop on penalties.
No.
And so, like,
except for it was
I
a
guess
free
the
snap.
play never started. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
First down and 15. Medella's to throw. Time. Throws over the middle. Completes another underneath route. And 16-yard gain by Tabor Mills with the last catch of the game. 54-0. Chiawana wins and improves to 3-0. Hermiston